welcome to Young Kids League the One YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Countrymen and women and the youth of our country. The President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, called for the 15th Cabinet meeting in the year 2025 on Monday, 11th August at State House to deliberate on policy and legislative matters so as to enhance national development. The following were approved as Cabinet resolutions. 1. The implementation of the 2025 Maize and Milling Export Program. Cabinet approved the export of surplus maize grain totaling 501,620,000 metric tons of it or its equivalent quantity of milling meal to various destinations in the region. This is premised on the fact that government has pronounced that agriculture is a business. During the 2024-2025 farming season, the country produced an estimated 3.7 million metric tons of maize grain and had a carryover stock of 385,000 metric tons. This implies that the total available stock for 2025-2026 stands at 4.04 million metric tons. The 2025-2026 National Food Balance Sheet estimates the total national requirements for maize grain, human consumption, industrial use, and strategic reserves at 3.5 million metric tons per annum. In view of the surplus maize arising from the bumper harvest during the 2024-2025 farming season, Cabinet has approved the exportation of 63,883,000 metric tons of maize grain, part of which is early maize, at 28,883, and maize held by the members of the Grain Traders Association of Zambia amounting to 35,000 metric tons and a total of 350,189 metric tons of milling meal to some countries within the region. For avoidance of doubt and for clarity, I repeat that paragraph. In view of the surplus maize arising from the bumper harvest during the 2024-2025 farming season, Cabinet has approved the exportation of 63,883 metric tons of maize grain, part of which is early maize, at 28,883 metric tons, and maize held by the members of the Grain Traders Association of Zambia, totaling 35,000 metric tons, and a total of 350,189 metric tons of milling meal to countries within the region. However, Cabinet emphasized that the national food security should remain priority to ensure that the citizens have adequate food in the country. Cabinet also emphasized the need to ensure that all the maize under the National Strategic Reserves is stored properly to avoid any wastage. In terms of transportation of the maize and milling meal that is to be exported to the region, Cabinet resolved that Zambian truckers should benefit from the transportation business opportunity. Further, Cabinet emphasized that the Food Reserve Agency should continue and expedite the buying of maize, which is still lying out there with farmers countrywide. Cabinet indicated that the export program will bring in the country the much needed liquidity in the maize value chain and motivate farmers to expand production in subsequent seasons as the country drives towards the 10 million metric tons production target set by President Hakainde Hichilema. 2. Declaration of Wonderful Group Industrial Park, MFES. Cabinet approved the declaration of a portion of the land belonging to Wonderful Group of Companies in Chilanga District, Lusaka Province, as an industrial park. The Wonderful Group Industrial Park is projected to attract companies with a collective investment outlay of United States dollars 2.45 billion and create about 9,650 direct jobs, of which 800 to 1,000 will be chemicals. The declaration of the area as an industrial park will therefore contribute to transferring of technology and skills, creating job opportunities, accelerating export-led industrialization, creating of forward and backward linkages with other sectors, and integration of business enterprises in the regional value chain. Further, the development of the industrial park will accelerate the attraction of different industries that will reduce the reliance on imported products such as urea fertilizer, glasses, and phosphate products, and thereby conserving foreign exchange outflow. In addition, the industrial park will support phosphate mining in Sinda and Petaoke districts of the Eastern Province, which will be used as raw material in fertilizer production. Currently, phosphate used for fertilizer production is being imported. Therefore, with this investment, the country shall now be utilizing our own locally produced phosphate. Further, the developer is setting up 85 megawatts thermal power plant, of which 45 megawatts will be injected into the national grid. Also, the integrated industrial and agricultural phosphate products factory shall set up a 40 megawatts thermal electricity generating plant, of which 15 megawatts will be injected into the national grid. 3. Declaration of additional land for Golden Baobab Multi-Facility Economic Zone in Kafue District. Cabinet also approved the declaration of an additional parcel of land measuring 200 hectares recently acquired by Golden Baobab Investment Limited, bringing the total to 424 hectares in Kafue District, Lusaka Province, as a multi-facility economic zone, MFES. This will promote significant investment by both domestic and foreign investment in the country. The various investments in the area will contribute to infrastructure development and will transform an idle part of Kafue district into a manufacturing hub, attracting quality enterprises in manufacturing of assortment of products such as tipper trucks and electric motor vehicles, with an eye to both local and international export markets. 4. National Corporate Governance Code. Cabinet approved the National Corporate Governance Code in order to enhance adherence to good corporate governance principles and practices in the country. The National Corporate Governance Code will further set standards and practices that will guide boards and managements on how they will and should govern their organizations and conduct themselves, as well as show consideration for shareholders and the environment where their businesses operate. Cabinet emphasized the need to strengthen the policy and regulatory framework to support good corporate governance practices in the country. Adopting the National Corporate Governance Code will, therefore, advance the promotion of ethical behavior and standards by corporates in both the public and private sectors, and also enhance government's governance framework on risk mitigation in companies and organizations. 5. Appointment of commissioners of the Zambia Law Development Commission. Cabinet approved a 13-member commission of the Zambia Law Development Commission as provided for by the Zambia Law Development Commission Amendment Acts of 2019 and 2021. The functions of the commission include, among others, to revise and reform the laws, codify unwritten laws, review and consider proposals for law reform referred to the Commission, and translate any piece of legislation in local languages. The appointment of commissioners will therefore ensure continuity in the leadership and operations of the Zambia Law Development Commission. This will invariably result in the efficient and effectiveness performance of the Commission. 6. Performance of the tourism sector. During the meeting, Cabinet also deliberated on the performance of the tourism sector in Zambia. Cabinet noted that the country has recorded massive increase in the numbers of international arrivals and local tourists. Local tourists increased from 239,392 in 2021 to 530,110 in 2024. Let me take that. Cabinet noted that the country has recorded massive increases in the number of international arrivals and local tourists. International tourist arrivals increased from 554 to 190 in 2021 to...
Oh my goodness.